Good afternoon, everybody. This is Robert at Scott Leroy Marketing. We'll get started with our KW Connect overview class here in just a minute. Before we get started, a couple of things to get out of the way. This class is recorded. It'll be available hopefully in just a couple of hours, but at the latest tomorrow at slmtraining.com. That's S as in Scott, L as in Leroy, M as in Marketing, training.com. And then if you're having trouble hearing on maybe your computer speakers or you'd rather just use your phone, you can call in using the number that's been by on the screen a couple of times. I also just sent you the link, or excuse me, sent you that information in the chat window. Speaking of the chat window, if you'll look up near the very top of your screen, you should have these same 5 buttons that I do. If you'll click on this one just to the left of center that looks like a speech bubble icon, that'll open up the chat window here. This is where I'm going to send you guys just a couple of notes. There's only a couple for this class, but it's also where you're going to be sending me questions if you have them. If there's anything that you're unclear on, anything that needs to be covered more in depth, things like that, you can send them to me in the chat window. I will be monitoring that. Alrighty, let's minimize this. Hop over here to my KW. It's zoomed in here so you guys can see better. So we're going to be going into KW Connect. KW Connect is KW International's learning resource and information sharing resource, really, for KW associates. So anybody who's a member of KW can share their information, share their content here in KW Connect, and then you can also find that content from other agents for how to build your business as well. So to get there, the easiest way to do that is just to log into your mykw.kw.com homepage, and then up in the top black menu, we're not going to hover anymore. They moved it, or they changed that menu. We will click on Education here. That takes us directly into kwconnect.com. Now you could try just visiting kwconnect.com and logging in that way, but we've seen it very hit or miss with whether or not the login page actually works with KW Connect, even if you know you're using the correct login information. So the easier way to do that is just to get there through that education link on the MyKW homepage. Once we're here in KW Connect, we're starting on the Keller Williams University page, and we may as well just go ahead and start here, and then we'll jump over to the home page. Keller Williams University, or KWU for short, is the official sanctioned classes provided by KW International. So that's going to be where you're going to find Ignite and 30, 60, 90 and whatever else there is. We'll actually go see the full list here by clicking on courses. There's also more information about like curriculum paths and other types of courses as you scroll down the page here. I do want to point out shift here. We are in the beginning of a shift in the market. The market is going to be turning into more of a buyer's market soon. It's in the process of that right now. So if you're wondering how to increase your business during the shift, this is where you're going to learn to do that. But let's click on courses here so we can see the full list of classes. There's a couple of dozen in here. These are all provided by KW International. Okay, so there's a couple of dozen courses that are provided by KW International. The most popular one, of course, is going to be Ignite, and these are listed alphabetically by default, so you'll find Ignite right after Growth Through Value and before Jumpstart. If you want more information about any of these courses, you can just click on it. We'll click on Ignite here. And then for different courses, you're going to have different information and materials and things like that here in the details for that course. For Ignite specifically, you've actually got a couple of buttons here for things that are going to need to be done or downloaded during the Ignite class, and your instructor can tell you more about that. Let's see. Yeah, you have the option of either downloading the course materials for free, or you can order a printed version for $25 through the KW store. That'd be this button right here. Over here on materials, here's all the PDFs that are for the materials in the Ignite classes. There's student files over here on the left, instructor files on the right. We've also got e-learning here, and that's going to be different for each course. Here in Ignite, the e-learning sessions here are really just going to be links to looks like nothing, really. I'm not sure why that section is even in here for Ignite. Reviews is going to be reviews that KW Associates had written about it, and then there's faculty resources, which says it's coming soon. Let's go back to our KWU, which is under resources, and then right down in the middle, KWU. Also on this page, you can find stuff about the like 30, 60, 90, growing your business that way. You've got information about family reunions, got ESO and FSO, got your, what have we got? KW video lessons here, lead generation 3612.3. I think there's information about the 411 in here, unless that's covered under Ignite. There's one with buyers, one with sellers. There's dozens of classes that KW International provides, and you can get more information about those here. So let's click on our KW Connect logo up here in the top left. This will take us to the home page. If ever you're lost in KW Connect, you can just click on this logo and it'll take you back here to the home page. Starting at the top, we've got this menu of everything that's available here in KW Connect. We'll cover each of those in a little bit more detail after we cover this home page. Just to the right of the menu here, we've got this, what is that, a magnifying glass icon. If you click on this icon, it's going to pop out a search bar here, and that's available on any page in KW Connect. On some pages, you won't need that though, because there's going to be the search bar just underneath the menu. That's kind of redundant here on the home page, but on other pages, there is no search bar, so you'd have to use the magnifying glass here or just return to the home page. You've also got the button over here on the right for upload. Excuse me. This is where you can add your own content here to KW Connect to share with everybody. Say you've got your listing presentation template, or you've got a great script that you use or something like that. You can share things like that here in KW Connect. And then if you hover over your picture or your initials up here in the top right, we've got a couple options here for like my profile, notifications, and everything. We're going to cover my profile in depth in just a little bit after we cover all the menu stuff. The reason I want to cover this specifically is because of the My Referrals section. We used to cover this section here in this class, but we've actually moved that to our referrals and groups and chat section for the commands platform that we're going to be doing on the 4th Wednesday of the month. So today is the 13th. We are going to start doing that here on March 27th, 2019. So we'll cover how to do the referrals in that, or you can refer back to any of the recorded versions of this class for how to use referrals there. Nothing really has changed. We just moved it to a different class. Moving down the page here, you may have noticed these very fast, what are they called, banners that are swiping across here. These are different things that KW International is promoting here on KW Connect. So this is getting into bold. We've got the One Thing webinar. We've got breakthrough moments. I'm not sure what that is exactly. But if you click on any of those, it's going to take you to that particular page about that particular story. Breakthroughs. So we've got a flyer template, it looks like here. Let's see, awards and accolades, what Inman is saying about us, things like that. So this is going to be why KW is awesome, apparently. And this looks like it takes you to the Outfront site in a new tab. So we'll just close that tab to return to the KW Connect homepage. Under that, this is the section that everybody's concerned with right now, the latest in tech, what's new in KW Command and Kelly and things like that. Looks like they just did a new one here on Monday, March 11th. So there's going to be the latest information about what's going on in KW technology here. There's also the vision speech from Family Reunion notated here. We've got some more information from Family Reunion, and then information about Command and I guess the new app here. Coming down underneath that, we've got a featured video section here. I have yet to figure out exactly what criteria is used to show certain videos here on the home page versus others. This looks to be just stuff from KW International, whether it's KWU or what's it called, the latest in labs and things like that. But I think I have also seen stuff from other associates. So I don't know how it's chosen to go on the home page here, but it is videos by default. You can also switch over here to audio and files and links. And by default, what's going to show here is just KW International only. You'll notice it says that right here. That's what you get when you click on or when you select just the KW circle here. If it's red, that means it's selected. So if I select this one for associate only, now it's going to switch me over to just videos from KW Associates. And then you can also do both. If you're over here on like files and links, you can show from one or the other or both. And that's very similar to the way that functions on the search page, which we'll get to in just a little bit. Scrolling down some more here, we're getting a little bit less important, but still pretty cool. This is upcoming courses that are starting across KW International. So this is any market center anywhere. So starting on the 15th, there is a lead generation 3612-3 that's going to be starting, and it looks like they're doing that for a week there. So we'll click on this details here to see where exactly this is and when. So this is going to be in Memphis starting on March 15th. And if you want more information about that, or to tell the market center that you're interested in attending, you can click on attend right here, or you can go and contact the market center. If you do click on attend, that's actually going to add that to your own schedule, which we'll get to as well later in the class. So let's click back on our KW Connect homepage just to cover that last section down at the bottom, where we've got trending searches. This is just the most popular search terms right now. Recommendations from KW International, and then one particular spotlight video. All right, back up at the top. We'll start from the left and just move over to the right. Memberships is memberships to things like KWYP, Young Professionals, what is that, Land, Luxury, International, CIPS, or was that Commercial? So all of those things that you can be a member of as far as divisions of KW. This is where it's going to list the ones that you are a member of, and this is where you're going to get information about joining additional groups or additional divisions within KW. If we click on calendar, this is where I was talking about earlier, where if you click on attend, it'll show it in your calendar, but we'll go there in just a minute. So this calendar here has the ability to show any and all training, any and all events at any KW Market Center across North America. So what it's showing me right here, we can find under advanced filters. See, these are all red here. Oh, by the way, this accept cookies down here, you do have to click this to get it to go away, and you do have to click that each time you log into KW Connect. There's not a way to do that permanently. If we click on advanced filter here, you'll notice all these events are red. This is showing me events in my market center. The color of the events corresponds to what the filter is that you've applied here. You can filter it by just events that are, or you can actually do multiple filters, but we can do events that are going on at KW International, which it doesn't look like there's anything until the 25th. We've got FSO starting. We can filter this by what's going on in my region. Looks like there's a couple of things going on, leverage series, agent financials, things like that. We can also do my market center. So this is going to show the calendar for your market center. All MC events, which is going to be every market center everywhere. So this is going to take a little bit to load because there's a lot of events to load. There we go. So now we've got all these green events. There's 100+ things going on every day at market centers across KW. And if you want more information about any of these events, you can just click on the individual event and it'll show you the details for that event. Lets you know when it is. Looks like it's in the Carolinas region. You can also mark attend here, and that will notify the organizer that you're interested there. And also, if we go back to the calendar, and I come over here to my training, that'll show up as something that I'm interested in here because I clicked on that attend button. You can also remove things over here on the right so that they don't show up here on this page. And if you just refresh, all of those will be gone. There we go. There's nothing here under my training. Coming back to the calendar, if we'll click on this advanced filter again, we can also filter this down by type of event whenever it decides it wants to load. There we go. We can look for classes, we can look for ALC or team meetings, leadership consultations, live streams, or other types of events. These are not super accurate here because this information typically comes from the Market Center intranet calendar, and a lot of market centers don't accurately mark their events by type here. So this may not be the best thing for you, but you can definitely instead come up here and search for, let's search for, what are we going to look for? Bold. Let's see when the next bold is going to be showing here. Looks like we've got a bold starting on April 8th, got another one in March 14th. In fact, I don't know why these are ordered this way. I guess you can't change the order of maybe when they're starting. Who knows? But you can get more information about any of those events just like clicking on it on the calendar. It'll show you the details page for that event. Coming across the top again here to resources, this is where there's a lot of information. So we'll just cover these in varying detail based on how much information there is going to be there. Connect Live is going to be a series of live classes that KW International puts on at different times of the week. Typically, they are on a schedule here. So today, there is a contacts overview, setup, and import. That's probably going to be to do with command. Overview, setup, and add is also being covered today. Tomorrow, there's a sales pipeline, and then 9 steps to transition your business to command. These are very bold classes for them to be having right now, considering that there's a lot in command that is not quite fully functional, but they do want to educate people about how to do that once it does become functional. Back here on resources, welcome new associates. This is where you're going to find a lot of really helpful information for your first about 90 days as a KW agent. So here's your first steps, getting into production, staying informed, things like that, logos and branding, learning about profit share and your KW email, all that fun stuff. Under culture, this is how you as a KW associate and KW International as a company interacts with people. That's what my definition of culture, and I feel like Mel Anderson would probably agree with me here. So culture is where the Y4C2Ts is going to come from. This is where we're going to get into Red Day and KW Cares and things like that. So if you want to learn more about how you as a KW associate are supposed to interact with people, whether it's other KW associates, your friends, your family, your clients, your co-broker, anybody out in the world, as a KW associate, there are certain expectations of the way you're supposed to treat people. You can find that here. Let's see. IALC and PG manual, that's a great place to get started. Back up here under resources, we've got events. This is going to be the really big events like Family Reunion, Mega Camp, Red Day, and you can get more information about those here. Under industry, this is how KW International as a company is affecting the industry, how they're working with industry leadership like MLSs and the various listing sites and things like that. Copyright and data privacy. So if you want more information about how you as a KW associate are working in the industry and how your company is working for you, this is a great place to do that. For Keller Mortgage, I can't cover very much here because this is a fairly closed door thing. If you want more information about Keller Mortgage, you would want to contact KW International directly, and we can get you their contact information if you need that. You can also sign up for Keller Mortgage, it looks like right here on this page. KWUs, that page we initially started at, where it's got all the courses there. MAPS coaching is that purple section here. This is where you get into like Diana Kokoska and things like that. So if you've been through Ignite and you've been through Bold and your business is at the highest level that it's been and you're having trouble moving it forward, this is where you might want to get into coaching. So there is group coaching, there's one-on-one coaching, things like that, and you can learn more about that on this page here. Coming down here to marketing, the main things to find on this page is like the logos and branding and the listing presentation template. This is the question we get all the time. Where do I find a listing presentation template? This is one place to find that. This is one that's provided by KW International. You can download it, customize it, and then print it out and take it to your listing presentations. Also over here under logos and branding, we'll click on that. And on this page, the first thing that's listed here is the identity and style guide. This is showing you how you are and are not allowed to use the KW brand across your marketing materials. This is rules for the logo, rules for colors, rules for sizes, rules for dimensions, things like that. You can find that in this full PDF here. Under that, we've got another link to that. We've got the onboarding guide, ownership statement, primary logo collection. So that's going to be basic KW logos. And then down here is where you can find your specific market center's logo. So you can put in your market center's number, like 196 in Pensacola, where I'm from. You can also put in the name of your market center, Gulf, oh gosh, I can't type, Gulf Coast. We've also got Gulf States and Gulf Sides, all that. But Gulf Coast right here, 196. You can download that zip file. It's got a bunch of different formats of the logo, and if you're having a designer work on something for you, maybe a billboard or a card or an email signature or something, you can just send them that entire zip file and they can pick out the format that they need. Now say you search for something that is not there. There we go. We'll pretend that's a market center number, but it's not really. So say you search for your market center name or your market center number and it says no matching records. That means your market center leadership needs to contact KW International to have them add the market center logo to this section. That's not something that anybody but your market center leadership has the ability to do. And then we've also got plain KW logos down here. Coming back to resources for MCAs down here, this is where you're going to get information about software like Account Edge and Winmore and what's going on with CloudMore and things like that. And then technology, this is where you're going to get mostly education information about the different technologies that KW International provides for Command, what's happening with the consumer app. We're actually getting a new one of those sometime this year. It's going to be really, really, really different. KW Connect, that's this right here, using Kelly, and then CloudMore, how that's going to work, and then training on your KW tools. For leverage, when you hear leverage in KW, think hiring. Leverage equals hiring in KW. It's leveraging your time as the agent to do agent things so that you can have somebody else who's not an agent do not agent things. It's mostly paperwork to begin with. Your first hire is supposed to be an admin according to the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and this is the exact step-by-step, line-by-line process for hiring the best people for your team, and you can get more information about that here. And then lastly, for profit share, this is information about what profit share is, news about how profit share is going with KW, and let's see, yeah, vested, 100% plus, things like that. So it's more information about profit share. You can also ask your team leader about what profit share is and how that works for you. Coming over here to Ask Agents, this is a forum for agents. Oh, gave me an error here. This is a forum for agents to ask each other questions about how to run their business. So this is a good question. Where can I find folders that are KW branded for my presentations? I don't know what CTE is. Now, what it's devolved into, and this is very unfortunate in my opinion here, is a lot of people are using this to either advertise or ask for a referral or maybe somebody to host their open house, which is not what this is for. Instead, you're supposed to do that under My Referrals. You can actually search in an area and you can broadcast to every agent in that area that meets your criteria, hey, I'm looking for somebody to handle this referral. That's not what this section is supposed to be about. This is for asking, hey, do you have a great script to use with FSBOs? Hey, I've got this unique situation I've never encountered before. Has anybody handled this themselves, and can you give me any advice? Things like that. And then over here under technology, we're going to have a lot of the same information that was under resources and technology. There's a lot of information here. You can click through all this stuff. Under Keller Cloud, I've actually never clicked through these before. Yeah, it takes you back to the same place as resources and technology. Same thing. The labs dashboard, oh, I skipped videos. So updates from Gary Keller, updates from Josh Team. I think he's in charge of KW Technology. Where we're going with technology, training, how to, all that fun stuff. And then if you guys want to click through these, I'm not going to cover these very much because a lot of this is not yet functional. Once it actually becomes functional, then I'll start covering it. We are skipping My Referrals for this class here. Again, this is being covered on our 4th Wednesday of the month class. Join us same time, same place, eedgeacademy.com. We'll be going into referrals as a how to work with referrals, as well as using the chat feature and the groups feature in KW Command. And the last thing to cover over here in this menu is growth here. Starting at the top, we've got the Career Growth Initiative. And actually, you know what? I can't start with the top here. These are alphabetical, but I actually need to start with Growth Initiative instead. The Growth Initiative was introduced in 2007 from KW International Leadership to Market Center Leadership, and it was a program for market center leadership, specifically team leaders, for how to build their market centers and build KW International as a whole. And it was a prescription for how many recruiting appointments they needed to go on, how those appointments needed to be conducted, how they were supposed to be tracked, how they were supposed to be followed up. And based on those tools, KW became the #1 real estate company in the country in just, I think it was So it was last year, so about 11 years from the time it was implemented. So this is proven to work. The growth initiative is how KW became largest in agent count. It's how KW became highest in production and highest in, volume. So this is proven. This works. There's no question about whether or not the growth initiative works. It does. Nobody can say no that it doesn't. So what happened is a couple of years ago, the Career Growth Initiative came out of the Growth Initiative. It uses the exact same principles as the Growth Initiative to help individual agents build their business versus helping team leaders build the market center. So it's got how many appointments you're supposed to go on, how those appointments are supposed to be conducted, tools to use in those appointments, and things like that. And it starts with the number for how much income, how much disposable income, how much end of the day income in your pocket do you want to have after taxes and expenses and everything. So based on that number, it breaks down to the month how many appointments of different types you're supposed to go on, and then it provides you with the tools for getting those appointments, going on those appointments, and landing those appointments. So if you want more information about the Career Growth Initiative, also known as the CGI, definitely talk to your market center leadership. And then if you're in, oh, by the way, I did notice last time I did this class, this one, actually I think all of these are not going to be available if you're not market center leadership. I think you may just have Career Growth Initiative. We're going to skip upload because that's pretty self-explanatory. If you have a video to share or a document or a link to an external source or something like that, you can do upload right here. So we're going to come up here and search. So somebody up here in the chat window, if you look up at the very top of your screen, just to the left of center here, we've got the speech bubble icon. If you would let me know in the chat window, what's something that you'd like to search about? What's something that you'd like to learn about from other KW associates? Something like scripts or maybe listing presentation templates or things like that. Let me know there in the chat window. We'll search for that and show you how to find that. Okay, Melissa wants to learn about a FSBO script. So that's what we'll search, FSBO script. Now, if you're not familiar with how searching works in a general sense, there are some technicalities to how to search, how to find the results that you're actually looking for. And I'm going to talk through a little bit about that here. So on the search results page here, it says we searched for FSBO script. It's going to show all types by default, and it's going to show things from KW International as well as from all associates. And then it's also ordering these by newest first. So most recently, it looks like just yesterday, this guy uploaded this video of a live cold call to a FSBO where he actually, it was expired and they actually got the appointment. So this guy is proving right here, my FSBO script works. So if you want to learn how he did that, how you can translate that to your business, that'd be a great resource for that. You can also the first thing I want to show you here is instead of ordering by newest first, you can also order by relevance. So somebody here back last year shared a 15-word FSBO script to give to your FSBOs, people that are already your listing clients, to isolate them from all other agents. And it's a file, it's a simple Word document here, and it's basically a way for, what am I talking about here? It's a way for your FSBO clients that this is your listing, to tell other agents, no, I'm not interested, I already have an agent. The Auszilla script. Created the script while dialing hundreds and hundreds of FSBOs, realizing that a majority, all that fun stuff. So you can get this from this guy, Ozzy Ramirez. You can also sort these by highest rated. And I don't know what the rating is because I thought it was these little hearts here, but if I come over here to most popular, I don't know what the difference is there. I believe, this is a guess, highest rated is going to be the most hearts, and then most popular is probably the most viewed. So highest rated, seller objection handler, my home is worth more. So say you're at the appointment and you're talking about maybe pricing for that listing. This is a video somebody shared from, it looks like YouTube, and it looks like they removed it here. But this is a video somebody shared about how to tell your seller that they might have an unrealistic expectation about pricing their home, especially, like I mentioned earlier, since we're moving into a shift, we're moving into a buyer's market, so you have to price competitively to bring in those buyers. Is there anything else anybody would want to search for? Oh, yeah. So while I'm going through some other options here, definitely send me over in the chat window some other things you'd like to search for here. So right now what we're showing here is all types of content. You can switch this over to just videos. So we've got the highest rated one here. We've got a buyer consultation with Nikki Ubaldini as she conducts a successful buyer consultation, all that fun stuff. We can also switch over to audio. Now, when you come over to audio, this is almost 100% going to be from KW International. Almost nobody uploads audios. And in fact, this doesn't really have anything to do with FSBO script. I guess there aren't really any, but this is an interview with with Gary. That's an audio file here. You can also search by documents. I'm skipping users because there's really no point for that because nobody has their name as FSBO script. So we'll come over to documents here. And this is Aussie's 5 pillars of phone lead generation. This is going to include, I guess, FSBOs here. 30 seconds to fame. That's a PDF here. This is also links to external resources. So looks like a certain market center here has shared something here in KW Connect. Think you should for sale by owner, think again. So this is a great infographic to give to those FSBOs to explain why working with an agent is better than trying to sell it themselves. Here's courses that address FSBO, which apparently that's not accurate here. Pages within KW Connect, communities within KW Connect, and then I don't know what vendors is over here. Okay, so while I was covering that, anybody have anything else you'd like to search for? Again, use that chat window. Oops, highlighted a bunch of stuff here. Use that chat window here to send me something that you'd like to search for. Melissa had a great idea for FSBO script there. Is there anybody else who has something else you'd like to learn about from other agents here in KW Connect? Another great question from Melissa. So expired. So let's search for EXPIRED. Search for expired. And this is again going to show us newest first. We're probably going to want to do either relevance or highest rated. Okay, and it looks like it's showing courses up here at the top. Lead generation 3612.3. That's a great way to talk about expireds. Here is an easy expired script from Carissa and Jay Acker. This is an interview with Steven something here and Gary about how they succeed with FSBOs. There we go. We've got 2 mega agents that are calling a couple of expireds, and they're both trying to get this expired listing just to see who can get it. And so these are mega agents, people that are producing millions and millions of dollars a year. And if they can do it, they're showing you how to do it as well. Got some more stuff here, 3 steps to expired listing success. So that was a great idea, Melissa. Anything else, anybody? I'll leave it open for about another 30 seconds. All right, it looks like we don't have anything else that you guys are wanting to search for, but you can use these same, what are they called, skills here to search for your own stuff here on KW Connect. Last thing we're going to cover is up here in the top right. If you hover over your picture or your initials, we're going to click on My Profile. This profile is connected to the referral search that we're going to cover again in that 4th week class. And this profile is what other agents are going to see when they see you in search results in that referral section. So this is internal. This is only for other agents to see. No clients are seeing this. No potential clients are seeing this. Nobody out on the World Wide Web is seeing this. It's only internal, only other agents. So this is not the place to try to market yourself to clients. That's not what this is for. This is essentially marketing yourself internally to other agents. So you want to be, as earnest as you can be here. So starting at the top here, we've got this banner image, excuse me, and this is specific dimensions that we'll talk about in just a minute. Under that, you've got your picture here that's going to show in this circle, and then we've got this About Me section down here, and this is going to show your follower count here in KW Connect, as well as how many people you're following. We've got this link to edit my profile, which we're going to come back to in just a little bit. Coming down here, this is a biography here. It's going to show a short excerpt at the top here, and then you can do show more to see the whole thing. Got some, what are they called? Statistics here for production. This is a little bit iffy as far as what shows here and what doesn't. You're supposed to be in control of this, but we've seen a lot of instances where turning things on and off doesn't actually work in this section. We'll talk more about that in a second. It also shows memberships here, whether you're a member of like commercial, luxury, farm and ranch, land, KWYP, coaching, things like that. And then you can also dictate your service area for other agents to see down here as well. So coming back up to this edit my profile link, this is where you can change all of these things. Starting at the top, upload photo. This is going to be your picture that was in that circle here. So you would just go browse your computer and change that to whatever photo you want to. If you don't have anything there, it's just going to show empty in that circle. Underneath that, for that banner image, that was that one that went across the screen behind your picture. If you hover over this little eye here in the circle, it says required dimensions 1920 pixels wide by 313 pixels tall. It has to be exactly those dimensions. It cannot be 1 pixel bigger or smaller in either dimension, or else the system won't accept it. It has to be exactly 1920 wide by 313 tall. And if you want information about how to resize your image to be that size, I am sending you a link to our class for how to do that. Coming under that, it's mostly self-explanatory. Email is your email, phone and mobile phone. I don't know why those are separate categories there. This one probably would be like an office line. This would be your cell phone. Service area here, you can type out where you want to be working for other agents to see on your profile. What am I talking about here? But this is not the place to list every single city within a 50-mile radius of you. You want to tell other agents, this is where I specialize. This is where I actually do work. This is where I'm reliably going to be able to get your buyer or your seller handled. So you only want to list 2, maybe 3 areas that you work in this section. Under that, for this biography, you're welcome to use the same biography that you use for clients in this section, but this is again internal, so you may want to tailor this a little more for other agents to tell them about maybe your stats for working with referrals, how many you've worked with, how many you've closed, total volume of referrals, maybe some referral testimonials, things like that in this section. Under that, you've got links to your different social media profiles here, and this does need to be the full link, including the http://www.everything. Other places in KW, it only wants this part right here after the slash, but here on KW Connect, it does want the entire link here. And if you need help finding your profile links, we do have a class for exactly how to find that as well, sending that over there in the chat window. Coming down here for custom tags, this is not tags for, again, clients to be searching. This is tags for your content here in KW Connect. So say you're a buyer's agent and you post things about buyer scripts, you post things about being safe while showing properties, you post things about keeping on top of the market and knowing exactly what's out there to help your clients and be able to point them towards things they might actually want. But you put somewhere in here in your custom tags, FSBO script, or you put in listing presentation. When your content comes up under listing presentation, but it's a bunch of buyer stuff, people are going to be disappointed that you didn't actually have the content that they were looking for. So you only want to list the tags in here that the content that you're sharing actually applies to. And you can update this at any point. So say you're a buyer's agent and you come over and you become maybe a listing coordinator instead, you can start putting listing stuff in here instead. Under that, you've got the option for primary market center. If you're a member of just one market center, you don't need to worry about this drop down. It'll select your only market center. But if you're a member of multiple market centers, like Scott is here, you would select the market center that you want to be found for when someone clicks on a market center in the referral search. So when you're searching in the referral section, you can tell it to show market centers in the area, and if you click on a market center, it'll list all the agents in that market center. So you choose which market center you want to be found under when someone clicks on that icon. For email frequency here, this is how often you're going to get emails about people that follow you on KW Connect or like your content or send you a request to join their referral network or send you a referral. The options are every time you get a notification, send it to me once a day or send it to me once a week. There's no way to turn this off completely. And then under that, remember those statistics about production, like total production, listing side, buy side, things like that. The only thing on Scott's profile that's supposed to be showing here is how long he's been with KW. But you notice there was a lot more on his profile that was showing there. If that's happening to you, you would want to contact KW International Support. And we can get you their contact information really easily if you want that. And then once you've made all the changes that you want to make to your profile down here, you can click Update either down at the bottom or up at the top. Both of these buttons will save everything on this page. That's going to do it for our KW Connect overview class today. Everybody have a great day.